Hello. How's it going, guys? Forgive the little delay then, but hope everyone's had a good weekend. It's really good to be back, especially back on Forza of all things. So I'm just going to wait until a few of you who said you want to make sure you can catch this stream to go through building and tuning power and speed cars on Forza 7. Just give you a minute or two just to jump in, and then we'll talk right into it. So whilst we wait for a couple of you just to come on board, what I'm going to do is allow you guys to ask questions, and it will appear on the screen for everyone else to see as well. But amidst that, I'm just going to make sure that some of the graphic overlays get updated as well, which is exactly what I was scheming on earlier today. So do let yourself be known once you're here. So it's always good to get familiar with who's watching. So, but a little explanation as to why are we actually going to look at speed and power cars. The game, it's fairly old. So why talk about them now? Well, the truth is that there actually have not been many tuning or setup guides about power cars and speed cars. We're quite familiar with grip cars and acceleration ones, but what happens to be the case is no one really talks about the little tips and all the quirks that come with trying to build a really strong speed car. So the examples that I'll be working on first for today are actually going to be in B class, because there is a night and day difference between a good speed car and a bad speed car. But in terms of building the car, it's a very fine line. So I'm going to walk you through how that is done, and hopefully it's something that you guys find useful, and we'll just pick it up from there. But for now, just see how it's going. Mr. Starchy, how's it going, boy? I hope you're having a good day. How was your weekend, mate? How was that fine old weekend? I'll give you a chance to reply, and whilst that's going on, I'll actually crack on with getting one of the new overlays on. So it's a little bit subtle. I've ditched the banners that will be at the top and bottom of the screen. Instead, we're going to focus just on a little webcam overlay instead, which I think overall it'll work out a little bit better. So let's just get a hold of that. Pull that over here, and I think we just need to extend it out a little bit, and then what I'll do with the camera is just maybe make it a tiny bit smaller, or just force myself over like this. I think that should do. Oh no, we're not fitting in just yet. We're nearly there. Okay, I think that will do. So you got a little bit tipsy then, Starchy. Okay, fair enough, man. Fair enough. Nothing wrong with that. Remember you saying that you spent some time at the pub. But yeah, messages aren't on the screen at the moment. Okay, well, just give me 1 second. We will get that resolved. There's always this awkward YouTube notification that comes up right at the top, and I find it so annoying. But we will get this resolved. So let's restore the chat. What are some of your finer drinks then, Starchy? Come on, lay it on. I used to be a bit of a Magners and Guinness boy myself. Back when I can actually swing the drinks down. Not that I can anymore. But I think a man's taste actually says quite a lot. It says quite a lot about their character. So I'm eager to hear what yours is. What do we need to do? Right, opacity for the live chat. We definitely need to bring it down a fair bit, because I think some of you guys mentioned it was just a bit too strong. So we'll go with that. Hopefully it's good for you. It'll hold up a bit better. Right, okay. Thanks for that start sheet. I do appreciate it, that it's looking a little bit better. Just, I think might need to position the chat a little bit higher actually, because I know it is really pushing on. Oh, what have I got there? It's not the right thing. Now on to the live chat. Okay. Push it a little bit higher. Yeah, there we go. Looking a lot better. Okay, so yeah, I think we're gradually getting there. We're gradually getting there, Starchy, in terms of making some pretty good overlays. But sometimes I think I spend a bit too much worrying what everyone thinks when really I should just be cracking on with it. But anywho, so we've got 5 of you lovely people here. So let's get straight to it. Accelerate, how you doing, buddy? I really appreciate you putting hyphens between each word now. That's actually a massive help. So, but hope you're doing well. Right, with that said, got 5 of you here. Let's crack on with power cars. So let's get straight to basics. What is a power car? It's effectively a car where its build is completely reliant on how much speed you can get out of it on long straights, as opposed to its cornering ability. So let's say, for instance, we are in B class and we've got a Mustang 65. So we're very familiar with this car. It's actually a leaderboard car around Hockenheimring GP. However, the handling for that type of Mustang is actually a 4.7 grip. So it's kind of like a slash power all-rounder hybrid, and it has about 500 horsepower. So how much horsepower does an actual speed car have? Well, this one with 4.3 handling has 994 horsepower, so it's quite insane. It's quite insane, and the same goes for a couple of other cars that I've already made that I'll walk you through some of the do's and don'ts when it comes to building and tuning them. And then what I'll do is I'll start a whole new car from scratch. We'll just pick any random car, build it up to speed spec, and then see how it does. Will it match up in multiplayer lobby? So I think it should be a fun little challenge, but for the sake of this, I think we'll stick with the Mustang. So let's get in this. I can't quite remember if I actually saved the tune or not, so let's just have a quick look. Yeah, we did save it, that's good. And here's an example. So we have a 5.2 handling car, which is more of an all-rounder in B class. And then we have this, which is a bit more of a power car, obviously 4.5 handling, not much to it. But this is with a different engine swap. This is with the 7-litre V8. And truth be told, as you can see, we get 700 horsepower, but the car weighs 300 pounds more. And, you know, do we really benefit in terms of handling? It's only 0.2 of handling that it's better at, so it's not really a bonus for us. So this is why we went with a very particular build, which is what exactly I shall walk you through right now. So when it comes to building a power car, first you want to get a good idea of if the car is actually worth the time and effort in trying to make it a speed car. And the best way to go about that is, no matter whether it's stock or you've already got parts on it, just immediately go over to the engine conversions. And then we're going to look at engine swap. Do not care about the drivetrain swap, okay guys? Engine swap first. And what we want to look at is the type of engines that actually appear here. So as you can see, we have gone with the 5.9 litre V8. It's a V8 racing engine. A lot of people call it the NASCAR racing engine. And the truth is, this is among one of the best engines when it comes to power and speed cars. So you will see it in loads of really high leaderboard placing cars, especially a lot of Ferraris and muscle cars. So if you want to do a speed build where it's the best bang for buck in terms of the amount of horsepower you get, the amount of PI that's used, and the amount of weight that ends up on the car, 5.9 litre V8 is the best one to go around. However, there are different types of engines for different cars. So what I strongly recommend you do is go onto the Forza Motorsport forums and look for a forum topic which is basically an engine car and engine swap list. It's been put out by Mantio Max years ago when the game first came out. and it was a great effort of him to do, and I think it's definitely worth a look at by all of you, because the truth is it gives you a very comprehensive list of what cars can have what types of engines. So in this instance, with the V8 racing engine, there are lots of muscle cars and some Ferraris which can have this car. So you can just save yourself time. Look on Mentio Max's list that he made of all the cars on it with each engine conversion possible, and it can just save you time in choosing the right type of car that you just want to experiment with. So there we go with conversions. Once you've selected that, there's no option for any other type of like turbos or things like that, because the V8 racing engine, it's all about the restrictor plates, just like Accelerate pointed out in the chat there. So let's take a look from the conversions over to the actual engine parts. So if you've got that NASCAR V8 racing engine, it's purely restrictor plates. And do you want to know the interesting thing is? The PI does not seem to change between having stock restrictor plate, no restrictor plate, and then remove restrictors entirely. So very interesting. It's just one of those quirks in the game where you can get away with dumping so much power into a car without sacrificing the PI. So always bear that in mind. And if you are going to go with that V8 racing engine, you should probably just remove all the restrictors whilst you're there as well. Like, I haven't seen a case where you sticking with the stock restrictor plate actually helps you with builds in other areas, so like with tyres or like the mechanical grip aspects of a build. So we've just gone with 994 horsepower. It's the most that you can have in this car with this engine, and it's the best build for B class. So we've got the engine sorted. What do we move on to next? Now, typically, on some of the power cars I've been building recently, I have not really been bothering having any front or rear aero. So this is something that can be open to debate in terms of if it's better to have some aero on the car. But for me, I found, particularly with the Ford Mustang 65 and the Mercury Cougar in B class, you can really get away with having no aero whatsoever. You're not going to benefit massively. I think it's when you go into a higher class like A class or S class where the rear spoiler can really play a part in it, because as you can see, 28 PI, that's a big dump. It's a big dump of PI. So yeah, I see you guys are talking about the Dodge Star, the Cougar OP and S class. I'll tell you what, Rufus, I want you to send me or just point me in the direction of a tune for this Cougar in S class, because I'd be more than happy to run it on Wednesday night for our open lobby. So, but back to the power build. So what do? So we've got no aero. What are we doing with tyres? We're going to keep them completely stock because it just requires too much PI. As you can see there, just to upgrade from stock to street tyre is 76 PI. It's insane. This is something that really spawns from the issue of basically making these engine swaps and then removing all the restrictor plates without the PI necessarily changing. It's just that the PI system will then react drastically once you start adding other elements to a build. So this is why we need to keep it as stock tyres. And we move on to the tyre width. Front tyre width, I always just keep it as stock for now. At least in B class, you just really don't need it because we can overcome issues of understeer through the tuning side. Rear tyre width though, this is where it gets interesting. I highly recommend that you prioritise a build where you can have at least some additional rear tyre width, because after all, with so much horsepower in the car, it's got tons of power, but are you able to apply that force from the tyres down into the road so that you can get up to speed in time? Because it's one thing to have a car that can do amazing top speed, but what about how long it takes for you to get up to a substantial speed to overtake cars in a race situation? So some builds I've noticed from other people on the leaderboards, they'll go with super skinny tyres, but this does not work for all cars. What I found with muscle cars in particular, that you want to try and upgrade them at least once. So stock is at 195, that's really on the slim side. Even for like an all-rounder car or a grit car, that's really on the slim side. So you want to try and bump it up to at least over 250. If not, try and get it closer to the range of 300. So here it says 295. But unfortunately, it's just too much PI in B class. but it's something, if you ever want to build a speed car in A class, just try and max out the rear tyre width. It's definitely going to help you, not just in applying power whilst going in a straight line, but also on your corner exit, so that there's just a little bit more grip and you don't suffer too much oversteer, which would then in turn make the TCS bog the car a lot, which is a big thing that people suffer quite a lot from. So key lesson about building a power car is make sure you invest in the rear tyre width more than any other aspect of grip. But that is that. The next thing I like to focus on is actually the platform and handling. So in this instance we can have race brakes. There's not much of a PI difference though we see between all of these. So initially I actually tried going with stock brakes and then sport brakes and seeing if there was something else that I could add into the build which was at a cost of only 1 PI. But guess what guys, not really worth it. We can go with the race brakes with the Ford Mustang here. So that is what we have taken. Onto springs and dampers is quite simple really, just race spring and dampers, race front anti-roll bar, and then race rear anti-roll bar. I cannot stress it enough guys, if you want to build a really good power car that you actually want to either hit the leaderboards with, or make it a car that is genuinely competitive in different race scenarios in multiplayer lobby, then you need to be able to tune the anti-roll bars and springs to really bring the best out of the car's behaviours in terms of, does it understeer way too much under braking, or does the car swivel too much as you're on corner exit, or is the car actually too wavy as you're going in a straight line? These are all things that you can solve whilst tuning the camber, anti-roll bars, springs and the dampers. So do bear that in mind guys. Here we come on to a very interesting topic, and I want to take a good few minutes just to talk about this if you guys don't mind. So the battle between what do you focus on, a roll cage or the weight reduction. We've already spoke about tyre width, and Rossi has agreed with me when I spoke with him. It is really good to get some rear tyre width on, more so than focusing on a roll cage. But let's examine this a little bit closer. So weight reduction, we have actually gone all the way to bring the weight all the way down to £2,116. As you can see with the stats, it doesn't say that it improves the car, particularly in much of an area. And even if we look at the stats here, so 0 to 60 is 5.2, 0 to 100 is 11.8. So that's for stock weight reduction. Let's look at race weight reduction. So the 0 to 100 moves from basically 11.8 to 11.3. I think this is the more substantial statistic that you should focus on, more so than the 0 to 60, because when you're in a race scenario, how many times are you actually going to be under 60 miles an hour? And when you're on a straight that is so short, cars are only going to 60. Really, it's about your 0 to 100, and the quarter mile statistic you can look at, but I don't think it really matters. It's more so about the 0 to 100. So we focused on this, and let's bear in mind that it's basically 21 PI difference between stock weight reduction and race weight. So 21 PI, let's bear that in mind. When we come over to the roll cages though, the difference between stock roll cage and a race roll cage, that is looking at about pretty much 50 PI. So it's a lot more expensive in terms of PI to put in. Now the statistics do tell you that there is a big benefit to it. So we've gone with street chassis roll cage in order to have the race weight reduction. But if we changed it the other way around, let's say that we made the car a bit heavier just so that we could then add on a sport chassis, is the benefit going to be that massive? Maybe, maybe not, because sometimes these statistics in game are not all that accurate. So it's something to bear in mind guys. But some cars you can get away with using the race chassis, some cars you'll want to go with something less. But I would advise focus your PI on the rear tyres on the rear tyre width first, then move on to race weight reduction, then move on to the roll cage. The reason why the stats and PI can look so weird sometimes when you're filtering through things like the roll cage and the weight reduction for speed cars and you don't really see this for anything else, but the reason why you see it on speed cars, that sometimes the stats will move in the opposite direction than what you think, is because in essence the game's thinking, well, the car actually needs sufficient weight in order to apply the power, because don't forget, it's trying to assess all the car's PI based on these stats right here, the 0 to 60 miles an hour, the 0 to 100 miles an hour. So if we find that if there's barely a difference in terms of the 0 to 60, the game's then telling us that, well, it's not much of an improvement. But bit of a weird thing, I know, it's quite weird, but just try and get your head around that. Remember that for next time. So always focus on the rear tyre width, then move on to race weight reduction if you can fit it in to the class that you're trying to build for. And then experiment with the roll cage. I think the roll cage is, unless you're in a car that is truly wild and you've spent so much time tuning it and yet you still cannot get control of it in a straight line, only then should you invest in changing your whole build to then get the roll cage in. But that is the build side of it, because the clutch, it doesn't matter. Transmission, I'd say just go for the cheap, just go for the least PI expensive one you can. And with the Ford Mustang, the 1965 one anyway, you notice that the PI actually goes down when we move over to sport transmission. And truth is, I don't think you need to fine tune every single gear. Sorry about the dog in the background, it's actually next door. My neighbour has 3 dogs, guys, so it's a bit much. I can't do anything about it though. But yeah, so little PI hack there. Go for sport transmission if you can. I'm rejecting race transmission on most of the cars that I build and tune nowadays, because sometimes you just really don't need it. You really don't need to fine tune every single gear. It's different when you go into the higher classes and especially GT cars. But if we're talking B class and A class, I wouldn't sweat over it. So let's save that PI and stick with the sport transmission. Over to the driveline on this car. I've gone with race driveline because look, even though we're saving pretty much £16, PI doesn't change. And it's one of those quirks again, because the car does not know how to assess whether the car is going to perform in a straight line better with a bit more weight or a bit less. So yeah, iBlocks, I appreciate that. Yeah, they're just hungry to see the tuning side of this. That's what the dogs are on about. I gave them a little hint earlier today. I was like, I'm going to build a Mustang, boys, you better check it out. And they're like, yeah, alright mate, alright John. But enough of me rambling on. We've moved from the upgrade side. So now you've got the principles of how to build a speed car in B class in the best possible way. It's obviously easier in A class because you have more PI to play with. But if you focus on building B class cars first, it'll actually set you up big time in terms of building really good cars in A class, S class and R class, because you obviously have more PI to play with. B class, very challenging though, so that's why it was a good challenge for me to get acquainted with them finally, because I've never touched power cars previously. But after doing it last week, I've just been itching to tell you guys how I've gone about it. So let's look at the actual tune side of things. So tyre pressure, because it's stock tyres, you pretty much just leave them at 30-30. I just brought the rear tyre pressure down by 0.5. I personally found that it helps numb the car's reaction just a little bit, which is really helpful on corner exit. I always seem to do that. Whereas if a car feels very sluggish on corner exit, sometimes I'll actually have the rear tyre pressure a little bit higher than the front. But it's kind of more to your personal preference. There's no real kind of scientific rule out there on what you're supposed to do. Onto the gearing. So we only have the sport transmission, so it's a final drive, and I'd highly recommend that you experiment with the drive whilst you're in test mode. For the record, Juicy Gerbil, the track that I tested my cars on is Road America. I found that it's the best, all round, it gives the best challenge for a speed car, because you've got 2 very significant long straights, and then after that you've actually got quite a sophisticated midsection where the infield has lots of sweeping bends and then hard 90-degree corners. So you're able to test the speed car in many different aspects, whereas on a track like Daytona, a lot of the time you're going into a hairpin, then you're shooting off. You're going into a hairpin, you're shooting off, and then you're on a giant curve. So I feel like it's a bit limited in terms of what you can do. But what I done on Road America was try and set my car for basically being a 4-gear setup. And this is a common rule across most speed cars, from B class, A class and S class. You'll typically have just 4 gears. That's what you'll find with most of the top cars done by the top guys on the leaderboards. So with the final drive, I moved this on the Ford Mustang all the way to 2.55. And even though sometimes you'll find the stat for the 0 to 100 or the top speed changes quite a bit, thing is, when are you actually going to go up to the exact top speed? It's literally going to be Le Mans Mulsanne, like the old Le Mans. That's the only track in the game where you go top speed, and you don't really need that. What you want to focus on with the power or speed car is you get a 4-gear setup, and then focus on having the gears so that on most corners, i.e. slow ones, you're actually in 3rd gear, and then you short shift into 4th gear, and you just let the 4th gear carry you from say like 100 miles per hour all the way up to 200 miles per hour on most straights. So yeah, that is how you do the gearing for speed cars. Onto the alignment. So camber is 1.4 on the front, minus 1.2 on the rear. I initially experimented with having the camber actually at like -2 or -3, because I saw that Raceboy had some guides on doing speed cars many years ago. I think it was back on Forza 5. And I tried it and it didn't seem to work so well in this game. After all, the physics are a little bit different. So, you know, it just is what it is. And I also actually analysed at least 5 of the best cars at Road America. And what I found is the majority of them cars, when you're driving on the main home straight, the camber is actually sitting at around -0.1. Give or take a few decimals, but it's basically at -1. So that's why we've tuned to have it here. And then onto the toe, we've kept it as 0-0 on the front. The Mustang's pretty decent even without the Aero parts, so we didn't need to create more oversteer by pushing any toe. Rear toe though, we've basically tried to point the tyres towards each other. So if you look at the car top down, we've got the front of the tyres, if you imagine as my fingertips, we want to point them together ever so slightly just to help with that straight line grip and stability. So you don't need to do it on all power cars, but on this particular one, the 65 Mustang, it still gets a bit slippy even on a straight line when you're in 4th gear, believe it or not. So this really helped me punch down my lap times by close to half a second, I'm not kidding, and it also helped with the consistency. Onto the caster, we've done 7.0, and because it's really hard on transitions, especially if you use sim steering and you have traction control on. The last thing you want is moving from going through a right-hander to a left-hander, but then the car over-rotates, and then the moment you apply acceleration, the car's oversteering too much from having a low caster, then the traction control kicks in, the car bogs, and then you've lost half a second or a full second. So that's why we go with 7 degrees. Onto the anti-roll bars. I think this is just going to be a typical rule for most speed cars. Have the front anti-roll bar super stiff. You do not need to have it all the way up to 40, but for the Ford Mustang, this just felt like a happy spot for me. I had 40, and then the rear anti-roll bar is sitting bang in the middle at around 20. Springs, quite drastic, isn't it? Quite drastic. You don't really need to have springs set up like this, but I'm showing you an example of the general concept, which is you have a car which has got a serious amount of power coming from that engine. And that means unless you get sufficient weight onto them rear tyres at all times, the tyres are just going to keep on spinning, even with traction control. They're just going to keep on spinning. So you have so much power that just gets bled out. It's not being transferred to the road. So what you want to do is have a really stiff front spring, because what that will do is stop the front end of the car from actually bouncing around much, because it's got less of ability by having such a stiff spring, whereas the rear spring is soft. It means that the bottom end can sit down a lot more. It can squat right down to the floor, and as long as you have the car squatting whilst you're in a straight line, it's actually going to have more power going from the engine to the wheel to the road. There will ultimately be more traction, and we've had to emphasize this with the ride height as well. So if you're ever building a speed car, always jack up the front ride height. Make sure it is higher than the rear by a considerable amount. You don't always need to go all the way to the top, but I'd say at least make it a couple of inches higher. Onto the damping, the bump and rebound. To be honest, it's kind of like just personal preference. I just went with these numbers, 12 for rebound, and then 2.2 and 2.4 for the bump. You don't really need to agonise yourself over these parts, because the rules of these apply exactly the same for a speed car compared to any other type of car. Downforce, no option available, doesn't matter to us, it's fine. Onto the braking. I think this is really going to come down to personal preference, guys, because if you want to have a car that oversteers more under braking, then sure, just make it at a lower balance number. If you want the car to understeer more under braking, then just make it higher than 50%. I just left it at 50. It just felt good to me around Road America. Would I have it the same around other tracks like Daytona? Maybe not, because the first corner of Daytona involves a lot of trail braking. So if you're doing trail braking, you'll probably want to have a slightly slower braking force balance. But brake pressure, personal preference, I just left it at 150. And finally, we have the differential. So it might seem a bit bizarre that we have not got the differential all the way down to, like, say 30% or lower, because it's a car that's got insane amounts of power. Why haven't we done this? Well, let's break down how a straight up speed car actually behaves around corners. You're not able to use any downforce or mechanical grip to actually make wide curves whilst going through a turn. Instead, what you're doing with every corner is you're basically trying to turn them not so much into a hairpin, but more like a V shape. So you're trying to brake in a straight line, and you're not going to park exactly on the apex. You're going to purposely shoot a bit past the apex, swivel around, and the car will feel like a boat when this is happening, but you want to turn the car and then just shoot it out in a straight line. So with that said, the differential you're not needing so much aid from it, but since we do have power nonetheless, what I've done is put it down to 70%, and this actually helped give the car a bit more leeway when going in a straight line, because as I mentioned, the Ford Mustang, it likes to swerve a hell of a lot in a straight line. It's really hard to control, but I found that reducing the differential just a little bit, down to 70%, it did overall make the car just a little bit more stable as you're moving from third gear to fourth gear. But that is the tuning side of it done, guys, and just to actually give you an impression as to what a Ford Mustang can do, as I said, I tried it around Road America. I tried it around Road America Full and then Road America Full West, so let's find them. So here we are. I haven't put clean lap times down because I was literally just testing them, but these are literally all within the limits and whatnot. So we can see that with a 219.8, that would actually put us second in Europe. What does it do in the overall leaderboard though? Because that's what it matters about. We know that for power tracks, especially in the lower classes, it's actually North and South America that really love dominating these leaderboards. So we'll find that a 219, it sits us just outside of the top 11, but it'd practically be bang on the top 12. So considering the fact this Mustang, I have never seen a power Mustang in like the top 50 on any track in B class on Forza 7. So the fact that we have found it to be of use is really good news. So basically it can be top 12 or potentially better if you absolutely nail the lap. I think a 218 is kind of its limit. We're not going to be doing any of these crazy times that we see with these other cars. But, you know, a 218, 219, that's still seriously fast for Road America. Let's look at Road America West. Oh, I've gone past it. Oh, sorry, Road America Alt, sorry, not West. So on average, it's about 5 seconds slower to do this track. So 225.9. So in Europe, that kind of puts us in top 4, which is pretty cool. How does it do against the world though? So 225 would sit us above this Mazda RX-7, which we all know is just an absolute Sonic the Hedgehog wild beast of a car, especially in C-Class and B-Class. So yeah, basically top 10 potential for a Ford Mustang, and you know, no one has tried it on the leaderboards yet. I'm sure I'll put a proper lap time down at some point, but you know, we found a car which works pretty well. And in terms of the tuning, which I've explained to you guys, I followed the exact same principle on a Mercury Cougar, and it performs, I think, even slightly better than the Ford Mustang, because a lot more people used the Mercury Cougar as a speed car back on Forza 6. So I hope that helps you guys. Some other tracks that it could work on. In B-Class anyway, Sebring for sure. And then the shorter variations, maybe Road Atlanta, but Road Atlanta actually does require a fair amount of momentum. So I would say you're pretty much sitting at Sebring, Road America, and Monza, and then last but not least, you have Daytona. Bathurst is a funny one. Bathurst, with some of the top times, you can get away with having either a full-out speed car or just having an exceptionally strong all-rounder. So, for example, Sora, i.e. Greek, he's got Caesar's 65 Mustang, which is 4.7 handling. So, although it's a power car, it's closer to being an all-rounder rather than a power car. But there you have it, guys. That's that. So, let me give you guys just a moment to digest all this rambling that I've done. And it'd be nice to actually get some suggestions in terms of any cars that you'd like me to build up as a speed car in this stream, and maybe we'll hit some multiplayer and see just how ridiculously hard it can be to race on all-rounder tracks, acceleration tracks and grip tracks using a full-blown 900 or 1000 horsepower wagon. So yeah, I'll show you the stats of the Mercury Cougar first. Where is it? There we are. So the exact same engine, NASCAR V8 racing engine, so 994 horsepower, 295 tyre width, so we're close to 300, which is really good. It's a decent thing. Yeah, I think you can actually get more tyre width in this car though, but it didn't really work for the PI limit that we had. So yeah, look at this, we can ramp it all the way up to 345. I tell you what, Starchy, I think 345 is the tyre width I'm going to try with this car for A-Class the next time that we go. I think this car, it might be able to actually give you a challenge. Maybe, I'm not too sure. But I think in A-Class, maybe like 5.4 handling or 5.5 handling with this tyre width, it might be able to match the Dart. Maybe. But yeah, quite an insane car nonetheless. So yeah, let me just look through some of these comments. Oh, you're welcome, Chris. Same to you, Juicy Gerbil. You're very welcome. I just thought to change it up. Why not give you guys a bit of a tuning guide, but more in a live stream setting where I'm not agonising over all of the edits, and I can just give you the information. I might even basically turn that segment into a clip, and then I'll just re-upload it onto my channel for anyone who has missed this part of the stream. So what a Rufus, you said about the Cougar in S-Class. I want to know if you've actually got a tune shared of it. If not, please share it by Wednesday, because I'd love to try it. Carver, I should try the RX-7 for B-Class. Jeez, oh, so which RX-7 is that? Is it the older one, Carver, or is it the 90s RX-7? I've got a feeling it might be the older one. The Dart, yeah, of course. I don't know if the Dart can actually have a speed build, to be honest. I do not know, but that might be something worth trying out. Yeah, the Subaru 360. That's just no, mate. Even the acceleration build is ridiculous. Like to control, let alone a speed build. Yeah. Oh, so the Dart has 345 tyre width as well. Yeah, the Cougar might be able to match you. Carver, if you really want me to try a C-Class Isetta, then I think maybe you should build a car. Why don't you build the car, share the tune, and then I'll try it sometime? How does that sound? Maybe you can try that on Friday. Because I'm not too sure what I want to do on Friday exactly. Tomorrow, definitely going to do a bit of like tuning on the wheel, show you some of the differences between trying to adjust cars so they're more stable and while still being responsive to a steering wheel compared to a controller. And we'll probably do that to some like Formula 70s or Formula 90s cars, because I think they're actually a part of the weekly leagues right now, so that'd be pretty cool. Carver's just not giving up on the Isetta, I can't believe it. So it's the oldest one. And Chris mentioned you like a solid tune in the Ford GT FE. What's the Ford GT FE? Which one's that, guys? What year of it are you thinking of? There's too many cars called Ford GTs, so let's have a little look through these. I presume you're actually talking about B class, and I want to keep it purely to B class right now on the stream. I might do like an A class build later on in the stream if you guys are up for it, but we'll see. Oh, it's the Forza edition 2019. Is it a 2019? I don't even see a 2019. Oh, you get it for completing the career mode. Wah, wah, wah. That's a ripperoonie for John Boy here, because I have not finished career mode. So, but I think what you should do, Chris, is actually take some of them tune numbers that I have done for this Ford Mustang, and then try it on the GT Forza edition. I think that will probably the tune that I've got is probably a very good base tune for speed cars. So you obviously need to fine tune for particular tracks, but it is what it is. So Carver has hammered on about this RX-7. Okay, man, I don't think I even have it in the garage, but why don't we buy it? I'll throw a tune together and let's see just how bad I drive it. Question is, I want you guys to tell me in the chat, should I actually drive with traction control on, or should I have it off? Should we really ask for a bit of death? Oh, is it this one? What is it that you said, Carver? I think it's this one, the 1985 one. Let's have a quick look at the chat again and see what you said. I'm pretty sure it's the oldest one, so 85 RX-7. Boom! Okay, let's go. Since you boys are here, why don't you all be kind enough to let me know what type of livery should we go with? Should it just be a plain colour? Or should it be one of these liveries? A bit of rust? Oh, I find that so ugly. We've got Racing Bee. This is quite funky actually. Rainbow. The rainbow car is definitely up there. The rainbow, then we've got a green one. And then we've got some plainer versions. So I think we need to choose, guys, between the rainbow and then these kind of like retro colours. What are you thinking? Let me know what paint shall we go with. I'll give you guys a moment to have a little think and tell me what you think will be best. Rainbow, okay. First come, first serve. We're going with the rainbow. And so, Carver, I didn't even know this car can be like a speed car. But I suppose I should just throw a build together. And should we even try it around Road America? Just as a baseline, figure out how on pace or off the pace it is. I'm sure it'll be pretty good, because I know Rossi's spoke about this one before. So let's build a car from scratch, guys. Just paint it orange and be done with it, John. I'll tell you what, the next car starts here, I'll definitely put it in orange, I promise you. I saw that you actually voted for the retro colour. Sorry about that, but it was just first come, first serve. So let's look at the conversions first, engine swaps. So we have stock, 6.2 V8, then we've got 2.6 litre 4-rotor. How can we go about this, guys? What do we decide that we should go with? Because look at that, we're already right at the top of B class with that. I don't think it's good. So I'll tell you what, this is a good opportunity. I think I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about with Mancio Max's list of engine swaps. So let's go on here, and you know what I'm going to do, guys? I'm actually going to show you my internet screens. So let's go right here, browser. Just added a browser source. Oh no, that's not going to work. Never mind. Let's remove that. I'll just get you guys to come look at the screen with me. So display capture. There we are. Don't mind this. Let's go over to here. We need Forza Motorsport 7. You have the V8. Yeah, I think we might have to go with the 6.2 litre V8, but I just want to show you guys this actual list by Mancio Max. So what you can do, I know it always takes a bit of time. So as you can see, he's actually got a list of all the engines and basically where they originate from. This isn't so much important. What you want to focus on is looking down the list, and basically each topic comment or post that he's made, it's actually dedicated to a particular engine swap. So what we'll do is we will actually just do a bit of Control F, and let's search for the RX-7. So that's the Mazda Savannah. We don't want that. We want to find the 1985 one. So here we are, 1985. Let's see what engine this one belongs to. Look to the very top of the list. This is the 6.2 litre V8 engine. Oh, look at that max output. 1063 horsepower. Yeah, I think we're going with this, guys. But this is a great thing about Mancio's list. He actually displays what's the maximum horsepower you can get if you make all the correct adjustments to it. So we are definitely going with this. Definitely. So let's bring you back to here. Appreciate you guys just taking a little detour with me to the old interwebs. But we're now back here, and let's get on with building this car. So let's go there. Let's see, aspiration conversion. I'm presuming twin turbo is the one to go with. So actually, I want to go with stock right now. I just want to explore it because I've not looked at this car before. But the cool thing about these engine swaps, guys, is once you realise which cars share the same engines, it saves you a lot of time because you know how you need to build them. So we definitely need to go with twin turbo. And then let's move straight over to the engine. Let's just go bonkers. Let's see what we can do. That's already got us up to 590. So by the looks of it, Carver, I reckon you have got super skinny tyres. You haven't upgraded anything. Yeah, look at that. It's 15 PI just to move up one. So we have to keep it the tyre width at 205. This is going to be fun. Aero, I think we should remove it. If it saves us PI anyway. It doesn't actually. So keep that there. What about with the ring? Oh, we can't remove the ring. Okay. But we could have street ring. Interesting. Should we bother with it, guys? Apparently it makes the braking worse. Oh, Forza things. Can't believe it. Right, okay. So, aero done. Tyres are done. Transmission. We'll probably put sport transmission because I think we'll need to adjust that final drive a fair bit. We're not going to touch the driveline at all for now, but we will make sure we've got the race diff in. let's move over to the platform and handling. First, let's get all these springs in, and then put in the anti-roll bars, and then we can look at other things. Carver, how much horsepower did you actually end up with your car? It'd be interesting to know, because by the looks of it, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to creep in a ton of horsepower, but I could be wrong. Oh, look at this, we cannot afford to really add in a roll cage, I think. Well, we have to choose between a weight reduction, basically, or adding in a roll cage, and then we put on heavier rims to then fit into 600 PI, so not too sure. So Carver, you have actually put 1,000 horsepower on this, okay. That's going to be interesting. Let's see if it actually all fits in. If we can, I mean, this is going to be mental, isn't it? See, we're already at 596. Let's just get over to the camshaft. Yeah, I don't know how you're getting it up there. Are you sure it's in B class, Carver? I don't know how. I don't really know how we're going to get up there. We're going to need to try some type of hack at some point, I think. We're going to have to get that PI back one way or another, I think. Did you go with maybe... Oh, right. Maybe you're messing around with the intercooler, making it a heavy boy. Okay. I think we're in the right direction now, guys. 965. This is bonkers, man. I cannot believe this. I know there's the Chevrolet Vega you can get over 1,000 horsepower in as well. I reckon there's some Ferraris. Do you guys think maybe it's the 250mm or 160mm that can go up to 1,000? Alright, so we're getting over 1,000. This is crazy. I can't believe this. Right, okay. So I imagine you put in all of this. This is such a heavy boy, I cannot believe it. Alright, so we're going with the Carver build. Max power, why not? So we've got that. I'm pretty sure flywheel is not going to come in handy. Oh, I don't know, look, we're still getting weight off. So we'll remember that for later. Maybe we can take more weight off. Brakes. We'll go sport brakes for now, see what we can do. Can we get a roll bar in? No chance of a roll bar. Look at that though. Maybe street weight reduction, I don't know. Let's have a little play around. Oh, there we go. See, saving a 1 PI on the sport transmission. These are the hacks we're after, guys. This is exactly what we're after. So now we've got that, we can begin to look at saving some weight in other areas. I'm sure we cannot. Yeah, no chance of tyre width. Let's look at how much weight we can save. So £11, £17, £17. Looks like maybe 17 is the most we can get off. Okay, we'll stick with 17. Where is it? Okay. This is quite fun actually trying to do this live with you guys because I'm trying to move a little bit faster. Look at this, the PI doesn't even change here. That's funny. But then again, there's not a big difference, I think. It's just £2 difference in the weight, so... What about the rear wing? Oh, look at that. See, this is what I'm talking about, guys. You can cram in so much power because Forza's PI system doesn't know how to calculate if the car's actually going to go faster in 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 when you're putting so much power in. But then the moment you adjust something that would have a positive effect on grip, then the PI just shoots right up. So maybe we should put the wang on, as Rufus said. Let's just put the wang on. 100 credits, expensive stuff, man. That could have got me a lot of fish fingers. Can we save a bit of weight? It's not saving. I don't really know how that's benefiting us, so we'll keep it as stock. Can we remove? Oh, I don't know. Let's try and change the weight in other areas then. Let's see what we can do with the driveline. So 767, 753. So £14. Let's get that off. I'm just thinking, mate, if we can try and get the race brakes in though, guys. This is what I'm wondering about. Because race brakes would be awesome if we can get them in. Race weight reduction just isn't happening at all. So it's basically 1 PI. Juicy Gerbil, you just knocked 1 second off your best time. Oh, that's epic. That is really fun stuff to hear, man. That's really cool. And you haven't had much time to even try as well. It's only been like, what, 15 minutes since I finished that. So, well done. Clap of hands, everyone, for Juicy Gerbil there. Just got himself a new PB, and a significant one as well. So, back to this build. Carver, did you go with race brakes? Let's see if we can get the race brakes in, but do we have to sacrifice something else? I think maybe the tyres and rims. Are we able to? Oh, maybe the front with the rim size. This is what we can do, son. This is what we can do. So go on the rim size. Make sure you get a new rim, and then oh no, it looks like it's actually adding PI up. Oh no, that's the opposite of what we want. Even though it adds more weight, the PI system is broken and thinks that we'll benefit from it. So it's not that. We need to try the rim style. Can we find a super heavy rim? I don't know if race brakes are going to be possible then, Carver. You said that you only got sport brakes. I don't know. Because at this point, when you get to this point after all the engine parts are done, the PI doesn't seem to change a lot based on weight. So I think I might actually have to change it based on something else. 61. Yeah, I don't know what we can do. Wasn't there something that actually, where the PI actually changed? It was probably the camshaft, but we don't want to lose that much power. Look at that. It's like, oh my god, 200 horsepower, pretty much, guys. And it's only 1 PI difference. So, exhaust is a good shout. That is a good shout, Carver. I think we'll try that. We'll go with a sport exhaust. So, yeah, so we've got it. We've got it now, guys. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. And what we'll do is, I suppose we should just try testing it. Let's test it at Road America. I do feel like this car could actually be quite bonkers in A-Class, actually. If you think about it, like, if you had all of that race rate reduction and then the roll cage on as well, jeez, this thing would just be flying. Absolutely flying. So, let's go for the Road America. If you guys have any other recommendations, I'm happy to quickly throw some cars together today, or even on another day, actually. You know what we're gonna do? We're not just gonna do Road America. Yeah, we will. We will just do Road America. Never mind. I was thinking of doing Road America Alt, but take a little bit longer to do each lap. So go to race, and whilst that's loading, we'll get on with the tune. Yeah, that's a good shout, Rufus and Starchy. It's something I do as well. So the benefit of sometimes adding a larger rim size on the front of your tyres is, if you think about it, it's adding a bit more weight on the front tyres, and sometimes that can actually help on your cornering. So sometimes on cars it will actually affect kind of the rake of the car. It will actually shift the nose a little bit higher so that technically more weight could be sitting on the rear instead of the front, but it's kind of hit and miss. It's not on every car, so 408, I don't know, let's just throw this all the way to something like, I don't know, 270 and see where we go from there. But as you can see, look at that difference. 263 miles per hour there compared to our initial statistic, which put us at 180. So I think we're just going to go with this kind of like base tune rule here. Let's just put on these numbers, get a stiff anti-roll bar, and then if we find that it suffers a lot on turning, then at least we know that we can just reduce the front anti-roll bar. Front spring, we want to get a fair bit stiffer, I think. This car's quite heavy, so what should we do? Maybe we need to have the rear quite soft. We'll see. Let's jack up that front ride height and then the rear ride height all the way down to minimum. Obviously, I'm just throwing things together, guys. We don't know if it's going to work perfectly for this car, but I'm sure that it will get us at least 90% of the way there. So let's just go with these. Okay, 50, we'll keep it at 50, but we'll put the brake pressure up to something like 170 actually, because that Ford Mustang, it behaves a little bit differently compared to other cars. We'll start with 0% and then maybe put this up to 80. And that is a base tune done, so let's see what you guys said. Also stiffens the sidewall of the tyre, making the car more responsive. Oh, interesting. That makes perfect sense now that you say it like that, Rufus. Good shout, man. Good shout. We've got some top secret tuning and building hacks right here, boys, on the channel. So that's why you've got to make sure you're subscribed. I know that half the time, in every video and live stream, half of you guys that are watching are not even subscribed yet. So make sure that you are, because we want to get them numbers closer to 1,000 as soon as possible. So let's see what assist we got. I'm not going to mess around. I think we'll try sim steering. Let's see how stupid it gets, and then worst things worse, we'll put it onto normal. But I'm going to keep the braking line on. I know it's a bit of a sin, guys, because I don't like using it in races, but considering I'm not used to power cars, I've got to start somewhere. Opel Kadett. Okay, Opel Kadett. I'll definitely have a look into that. Especially for when we do A-Class lobby. Look at that. Look at Juicy Joble. He's now 2 seconds ahead on Monza than his previous time. The sound of this. Awesome stuff. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get it out of here. Let's... It's not swerving a hell of a lot. It might do more in fourth gear though. But whoa! Okay, we need to brake a lot earlier, guys. Jeez, oh, this thing. It's a heavy boy as well. That's what I forgot. So definitely have to brake quite a bit earlier compared to the Mustang and the Cougar, because I think they're quite a few £100 lighter. Look at this is wailing about. Jeez, oh. This is a challenge, car. This is a challenge. I might need to put sim steering off on this one. Mental. Third gear. I think because this car's got over 1,000 horsepower, you'd probably just want to keep it in fourth gear around practically everywhere. If it's tight hairpins, then you go into third. But some corners like here, I'd probably just short shift up into fourth, and then we get going. So, right, let's go. Let's look at that telemetry as well. Oh, interesting. Okay, so what we have found is fourth gear is maxing out too soon, so we even need to make that final drive way longer. I don't want to touch fifth gear, to be honest. So let's bring this all the way back, because we don't want to suffer the dreaded Forza rewind glitch. So let's get here, and now we're here. Let's. Oh no, my bad, my bad. Yeah, I do reckon this is a Le Mans car. This definitely doesn't seem like it's suited even for Road America, but we'll try. We'll try. Some cars just seem to work on other tracks pretty well. So 270. Let's. I don't know. Let's just. I mean, what are we doing at this point, guys? This is insane. Just final drive is as far out as we can go. Let's see if it holds up. I reckon it'd just be nice to know in terms of territory if it can. I reckon like if it can do better than maybe 222 or 221. Then it's a good car for Road America, and we're in the right direction, but we definitely need a bit of third gear now we've made the gears so long. Maybe we've made them too long. Look at that, this takes like a day and a half to get up to speed. But we will try a few laps of this, guys. We'll see if we can make the car somehow a bit more bearable. Look at this, swerving side to side. Oh no, we've gone too deep. Wall tap, get that wall tap. Oh, well done, Juicy Joe Ball. That's epic, man. Top 10 at Monza right now. Making gains. Glad I've helped, buddy. Glad I've helped. So we're engine braking, going into second, but we're certainly not going to come out of the corner in that. So third. Oh geez, these gears are really long, aren't they? But we have loads of power. I think we're definitely going to try this in hoppers, aren't we? We're going to have to do the Carver special. Take a Le Mans car around every other track. Why not? Whoa! Getting distracted there. Sorry, guys. Bit shaky, it's a little bit shaky. Alright, I think we're actually going to change that final drive. Well, there's a couple of things I want to change. I want to bring this tyre pressure down a little bit more. So we had that, maybe we'll go to like 235. Maybe 240 will be okay, we'll see. I'll bring this down a little bit. I think this needs a bit more. Well, a bit more rear toe. Let's bring this down. I think front spring has probably got to be a lot stiffer just to try and make it sit down more. Let's reverse this around actually, see if this helps. I don't want the front bump bouncing as much. And maybe we do reduce this to 70. Just make these little changes. But yeah guys, whilst I'm doing this and looking at the screen right now, why don't you tell me about some of the power cars that you guys build, or ones you've been trying to be working on and you have troubles with, or ones maybe ones that you just find impossible to drive. It'd be interesting to hear, because I'm not really a speed car guy myself, but I think that's changing now. We're starting to get the handle of building and tuning them, so I think we're going in the right direction in terms of becoming more acquainted with them. That Mustang can obviously do some top leaderboard time there at Road America. I think my Cougar might be able to do possibly a little bit better actually. And then there are so many other cars that we can play with. Ones that are on my agenda are actually Ferrari 250 GT Berlinetta and maybe the Fiat 124 Spider. But let's go. Oh, that's a lot better on the gearing actually. A lot better. Right, I'm just going to rewind through some of these laps, guys. I just want to figure out what is actually a good... What is a good lap, and what's like the base kind of performance we'd get out of it as well. So red line basically before the blue billboard. At least like 2 or 20 feet, 10, 20 feet. There we are, we're in third gear. Move up into fourth. Back down into third gear. Accelerate out as soon as we can. Try and avoid some of that bog. We had a fair bit of bog there on the exit actually. Jeez, oh, this thing. Mind you, it's not actually swaying that much more than my Ford Mustang. My Mustang's got less power and it sways more. Oh, come on! This takes so long to brake. It's really hard. Yeah, Rusifus, I do imagine that you have a lot of cars. I do. Alright, so whereabouts is it that we began braking? Because we need to do it slightly before. So it's actually before the red, I think. Come on. Okay. Right, now we broke a little bit early, but it's fine. Oh, I've accelerated too late around there, I think. When you're driving these cars, you have to be so patient on the throttle, because sometimes you'll feel the urge, because it's a power car, that you want to get up to speed as fast as possible, but that's not always the case. You actually need to be willing to coast or feather the throttle quite a lot through the turn. And it's only when you can really see practically a straight line that you want to then apply the accelerator again. But let's go. So 3.4 seconds up, not bad. Oh, that corner could be taken so much better. But let's just go, let's see how we do. Bit of the bog in. Come on, stop. It only broke about like 5 feet later than we needed to, but it's time nonetheless, isn't it? So 5.5 seconds up, okay. Try and find that straight line, then we've got the power down. I shouldn't have really run over that curve, but I don't think it bogged us too much. Oh, look at that, guys! Like, here we go. So our second lap, and we haven't practiced this car, and it's already done a 220. So I'm sure that with some practice, and if we actually hit the apexes bang on, with correct braking, this could be doing a 219 or something even better. So there we go, boys. Good stuff. Go on, Carver. Good choice. I think we're done there. How good would a 221.3 be? I'll look that up for you, Carver, but I reckon that should be around top 20, I think. I'll have a quick look on the leaderboard for you. It's quite insane, because when you look at like the top 12 times, their times are so damn fast because of the cars that they're using, like the Alfa Stradale, the Sprint Stradale, and then Chevy Vega or something like that. It kind of skews your sense of what is a fast time, but even a 221, that is a very fast time. So let's get to Road America. Where are you? So just for perspective, look, 221.3, that is practically top 11, top 12, right there, Carver. So you've got that for Europe, and then in terms of top scores, what did you say? Was it a 21.3? Yeah, so look at that. It's around the top 20, top 30, near top 30. Yeah, pretty much around that. So, yeah, good stuff. So even with our 220.8, as long as we could get it clean, that'd be bang on in top 20 material right there. So good stuff. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Rufus, your 70 Corvette is a joke. That car is an absolute joke. But if you guys want, what I'll do is I'll actually just save this. As long as I've got enough tune slots available, I'll save this and share it. Let's save and share. What shall we call the tune, guys? I'm going to open it up to you boys in the chat. What shall we call it? After this, we're definitely hitting hoppers, by the way. We're going into hoppers with some stupid cars, so... I think you might be referring to Sterilised RSX. You should try that, John. I'll tell you what, Starchy, like, I've had enough of your cheek. I'll tell you what, Sterilizer is such an amazing hot lapper, and he's got some banging tunes, but then there are some of them where you can tell he obviously has not tried, and it's just a mean one, and, well, yeah. It is what it is. Okay, Death it is, Carver. We're calling it Death. I'll tell you what, let's add to that. Die of Death. Okay, there we are. And then, do we have to put it for a track? Maybe we shouldn't. Let's make it as easy as possible for people to find. Environment, any top speed, best for speed. Okay, let's be honest with ourselves, boys, in terms of what type of car this thing is. It is a suicidal sleeper. Speed sleeper. And just to really nail it in terms of the attitude and emotion you should be feeling when driving this car, can I get a yeehaw? There we are. Alright, let's see if it can share. Fingers crossed it can, guys. Fingers crossed it can. Oh my god, something is blocked. Maybe it's suicidal or the term die. Let's rename this. Let's take out die. Maybe it's die. Let's try death. Yeehaw. Is it shared? Is it shared now? I don't know. There we go. Death. We've got death, boys. Let's go. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do, let's get ourselves into some multiplayer. Just doing this bit to make sure the B-class lobbies are full of people in full control on their car with this beauty. Oh, absolutely, yeah. I'm spreading the word. I'm spreading the gospel of V8s and stupid engines, and but hopefully good racing in bad cars. Now that we're coming into multiplayer, we definitely want to set ourselves a little party. Let's start a party so that people don't have to put up with us, and then options, invite only. Excel High Flyer. Funny enough, I have raced this guy. I remember racing this guy. Oh right, I think we've just missed the start of this race, but that's not too bad. That will give us time to maybe rack up another car. Yeah, Carver, hell yeah, you should join. Right, so I think they're on their final lap, so let's go ahead and maybe create another car. Fiat. I don't trust that. Maybe let's try a brand new car, if we can find one in B class in time. Fiat. No, there's no Fiat. So I think we're going with Ferrari. Let's look at some of the old Ferraris. Testarossa, don't think I don't know if Testarossa would work. 250 GTO might do. I don't know. What should we try? What should we try? The Testarossa or 250 GTO? What should we try as a speed build, guys? I hope Prague is up as well. I'll tell you, Starchy, I'm up for any grip car or track. I'm more than happy to have a bit of Prague, Lime Rock, Alps. Bring it on. Like around Alps reverse, I nearly won a race in my Cougar. I'm not kidding. So be careful what you wish for, boys. Be careful what you wish for. But you guys aren't choosing, so I think we'll try the Testarossa because it's definitely the less popular Ferrari. So let's see if we can actually give it a damn good power build. First, let's move over to here. Actually, we'll save that for later. Maybe we should look at the Aero after the conversions. Oh yeah, it doesn't work. Never mind, never mind. So that car's a no-go. Just wasted 1,000,000 credits, boys. Get in. Maybe we should try 250. Hey Slaps, how's it going, buddy? Hope you're having a good day. Long time no see. Maybe we should try this Berlinetta actually. Yeah, let's try the Berlinetta. Let's see what we can do with it. I just want to keep tabs of what tunes I've already got for it. So that's my Lionels. Right, okay. Let's remove the stuff. Let's see what we can do. Oh, we can't. We can't. So we need a car, I think, that already sits in B class. Maybe the Cali. Whose tune have I got on though? It's probably my own, so I don't want to lose this. Let's save whatever settings these are. '78 Camaro. Oh man. Yeah, all good Slaps. Just living it large with all my homeboys, all my hometown girls as well. You know how it is, man. That'll break the lobby restriction. Okay. Well, that's not good, mate. Let's see if we've got enough time to actually throw a tune together. .235. Might need 235. I think 185 would be way too slippy for this car. Ah, see, we can't even do it, guys. I don't think we can do it. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. I think it's for A class. You have to do this one. Yeah. Oh, never mind. Scrap that. Scrappy, boys. And this race still isn't over yet. Kaiser. Now this is a good driver, Kaiser. He'll probably be leading the lobby races, especially when we're taking some monstrosities. So let's see if we can buy a car again. I need to think of a car. Going to punch Slaps into the bus stop. Oh, good man. Good man, Rufus. Got your priorities straight. I like that. I like that. What can we vote for next? Oh boy. Oh boy. I think Road Atlanta Club, just for Starchy, because just for the old Starcher Runo. I think it would probably have to be a muscle car. if we're buying one in B class. I don't think there's any cars that you buy in B class that you can actually soup up like this. I think I might have to stick with what I've already made. Hot Wheels Mustang, that surely can't work. Surely not. That's already got that. Jaguar, Lamborghini. Yeah, I'm a bit lost actually. I don't think we've got anything that we can. I really prefer to do it in the older cars, to be honest. But I think it's cars from like D class and C class that are best for. Yeah, I don't think we've got time. Don't think we have time. So let's start off in the Cougar. I think the Cougar is the one that I'm most comfortable in, to be honest. Oh, go on, Starchy. You know it, mate. You know it. Get yourself in here. Let's have a laugh. I'm only going to be on for like another half an hour myself anyway, so I'll just be doing like a few races, I think. Alright. Sim steering is coming off, lads. It is coming off. There's no chance for trying it. Oh, you're in the lobby as well, Juicy Juggle. Nice, nice. Yeah, the more the merrier, guys. I think what I'll do is, if I happen to start at the front, I might just try and run. But if we're in mid-pack, I think we're starting mid-pack. I might let. Maybe we should let people go. I don't know. Maybe we should just try and drive. Oh, so this is the BMW you were on about, Joey. That's a good call, actually. That's a cool looking car which I haven't built yet. I'd like to do that. I'd like to do that very much. Intermission countdown. Race countdown. Slaps, what the hell have you been up to recently then? Have you actually been doing any like online racing on Forza or playing other games? It has been a while. Be good to know what you've been up to. Rossi, give me the power. Give me the power. Carver in the Citroen 2 CV. I don't even have this car. So, we've got some monsters here, boys. We've got some monsters. Just need to wait for the race to load now. Yeah, Rufus, what is that, the AC Cobra with 5.2 handling? Is that in B class? If it's B class, then I'd say it's like all-rounder / grip. Let's go, son. Oh no. Got a soccer mum. Oh, I forgot to turn the line off. Naughty, naughty. But that's fine. I think we'll turn it off for the next race. Up into Pody, boys. Not that it's going to last, but that is sick. Oh no, you can't tell me we're going to out-corner a bloody 33 Stradale. Get away! I can't believe it. How did we come off better-handed than everyone else? Oh, there comes the Stradale. Holding everyone up. Third place goes wide. I mean, if the Stradale guy keeps making mistakes like this, then we could legitimately beat him. But we've got a lot of laps to go as well. That's it. Hang him on the outside. Forza RC line. Jump the curb. Let's go. As you can see, this car, it sways a lot, but that's what any speed car will do, no matter the class you're in, guys. So you just have to be willing to try and like surf the car more than drive it, if that makes sense. I cannot believe we have overtaken this guy. This needs to go in the record books of the most top 10 stupendous things ever to happen. Come on, don't touch the grass. There we are. That's more like it. He's going to come up on the inside, I think, but then we'll have the speed. Short shift into fourth. Let's go, let's go. Midpoint in the race, and I can't believe it, guys, but we might actually walk away with a podium. This is not supposed to happen, guys. This should not happen. This is Forza Motorsport. It is the pinnacle of racing simulation, guys, so short shift into second. Just trying to get a bit of that engine braking in. We're losing ground to someone. Whatever car they're in. Might be a Honda. Or a Lancer, actually. A Mitsubishi Lancer, I think. So we're losing ground, but the question is, can they get around us? As long as we hold our lines, we might stand a chance. He's closing up, so we need to get back to the apex as soon as possible. Bring it up into fourth now. We want to reduce that wheel spin, and it should help us just pull away from him a bit. Oh, he is in at S2000. Oh shit. Oh, we don't want that, guys. Not the S2000. He's only got a bloody leaderboard car. Around the track it's actually strong at. I think we've got Juicy Joey in second. In fourth, I'm liking this. Come on, come on, come on. Do we need the handbrake? Hope not. Let's not buckle under the pressure. S2000 definitely took that poorly, and he's up on our outside now. Go, go, power out. Come on, come on, come on, come on. He's close. We done it! We done it! Oh my god. We done it. I can't believe that. Oh, that is bloody hilarious. Oh my god, Maple, no. We don't want Maple short, guys, we don't. Oh, jeez. What a race, that was hilarious. Oh man, that's some funny comments right there. Yeah, we are doing S-Class. Rossi did confirm that in the chat. But we need to figure out divisions. I think, Rossi, it basically comes down to us doing either Exotic GT, Rise of the Supercar, or we just go supercars. Only thing with supercars is it would feel like everyone's kind of driving the same car, I suppose. But I don't mind. I really don't mind. I think if we can't find a competitive track for all the cars, then supercars would be fine by me, I think. I haven't found one yet, but I think what we do, Rossi, is I can afford to have a quick look tomorrow. Look at this. Suzuka. I think this track is actually a bit too narrow for us to run the old RX-7 around, because that's a bit of a monster. But maybe we stick in the Cougar, maybe we move into the Mustang. I think even the Mustang won't handle it well around here. And we're starting higher up. We're starting on the front row. John and Juicy Joey. Oh man. Absolute scenes. And then we got Starchy in the Dart. He's going to have to work up the order, but I'm going to try some defending. I'm going to try a bit of defending. Can you believe we even won that race, guys? I don't believe it. Yeah, that's right. Rossi with the birthday. It's going to be happening. It's going to be happening. Get the magnums out. Yeah, don't you worry, Starchy. 595. I'm sure losing 5 PI in the Dart is it's no problem. If anything, it's just making the world a fairer place. But guys, I really appreciate you coming out, spending your Monday or afternoon or morning or night, wherever you are. And please do make sure that you like the stream as well. Love the old thumbs up, I do. It's a good reminder that I'm on the right track with making content. Oh no, we're boxed in. Can't do it. Joey's found a way on the inside. We've got another John. Ooh, just about avoided the beetle. Oh, what's that? Car coming by. Mustang. We're going to have to let him go. No point fighting around this section. We're just a sitting duck. We are waiting for that straight. Whoa! Close call. Back with the Mustang. Give him space on the outside. Whoa. Oh, and he's knocking us. He's not having any of it. Alright. Whatevs, mate. I think he tried to ram us there, didn't work. Oh no, we got this stupid chicane. Oh, I didn't know. Oh no, look at that. Destruction. Destruction. But we're starting to get a bit closer to where we want to be, boys. We're getting closer to what we want. Come on. We have patiently waited 2 minutes now. It's time for us to go. Time for us to go. Yeah, boy. Ah, it's the other chicane. I never realised this. This is the first time I've ever done this layout, boys. I didn't know it's a later chicane. Oh. Go, 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 go. Right, so we're coming round in second, then near the exit, we're going to short shift into third. Not the smoothest run, but it's okay. Through this S section, jeez oh. Jeez-o. Oh wow, look at that Stradale. He's got no bedroom manners at all. I was hoping the grass on the inside would actually help rotate the car then. It didn't really work out. Oh, what a shame. What a shame, Mr. Stradale. What a shame. Oh, there's a big old fight back there for the 6th position. Look at that. Oh. Sorry, Lancia, you've been very patient. A good driver, actually. Alright, this Stradale, we're having none of it on this straight, boys. We are not letting him take 3rd for this race. We need to set these noobs an example that the players of Forza Motorsport are better than the OP choices. Catch you later. Mwah. Alright, so we know that we can brake a little later this time as well, so that's good. Oh, is it too late? Come on. Get around. Oh. Ah, we just about blocked him off. Good. Laters. Not changed the gearing. Whoops-a-daisy, Starchy. Whoops-a-daisy. Oh, do we have a momentum track, boys? What do you say? What do we do? I think we'll just let the people decide. I'm not going to vote. I'm up for whatever. But if it's Dubai, then you know we're in trouble, guys. If it's Dubai, we're in trouble. Look at that. 4 votes, 3 votes. Could go either way. What happened to Joey? I get the feeling that Joey got taken out. Look at that. We're only 2 tenths slower than the DBS. Not bad, not bad. Henkix, how's it going? Henkix, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Having a good day. Uptonio, hello, buddy. How are you? Yeah, it definitely looked dirty. I think below 5th place, that looked like such a horrible scrap for positions. Watkins Glen! Oh, that's it. Right. Guys, you decide in the chat immediately. Are we going with the RX-7 or the Ford Mustang? Are we going with the Mustang or the RX-7? This should be an absolute laugh of a track. Perfect entertainment whilst cooking dinner. Nice, Henkix, nice. Let me know what you are eating, man. Rufus said the Ford. We're going with the Ford. Going with the old Ford. Let's go. We stand for the Stang, guys. We stand for the Stang. I'll tell you what, actually, if you guys have got any recommendations for S-Class cars for Rossi and mine, their open lobby on Wednesday, do tell me any cars. I'm going to try and test some myself. bit of violence there. Look at that. Many people running wide. Oh, wow. What's that? I thought Kaiser was a good racer. Doesn't seem like it. Let's be careful with our rejoin. Don't want to take anyone out. Back in last place. But it's only lap 1, guys. Yeehaw! Oh, we broke too late. Definitely broke too late. Don't crash him. Don't crash him. Let's go. Okay, bit of a tricky first lap, not gonna lie. We really want that apex, so we're going to let him go and then take him on the home straight. Classic Mustang moment, I like that. Go on, Carver, we see you, we see you. Whoa! Wheelie going into an S, we don't want that. Yeah, we got a short shift. This car's too squarely. Let's go, Carver. Come on, John. Hello, John. How are you? That defensive line isn't going to help you here. Thank you for your patience. Another guy is just going wide. What is it with everyone? No one cares. We're going to try 4th gear all the way from the bottom. Let's see if this helps us a bit. Like I said, guys, you always want to try and go with a 4 gear setup, especially with B and A class speed cars. Probably the same in a lot of S class cars. But the likes of Rossi and Rufus can actually attest to what might be the best setup in S class. We see 5th place and 4th place up ahead, guys. I'm getting a bit hungry. Let's try and end the stream on a good note. Mr. Mura, come here. Right, let's try and get more into the racing line. Start a bit wider, hit that apex. Much better. This Lamborghini's all over the place. He's driving like he's in a speed car. And he's obviously not. Let's take the outside line, thank you. Starchy, it's Starchy. Starchy rocking it in 4th place, nice. Got Juicy Joey up in 1st. A bit too deep. I don't think we're getting the 114 on this lap. Let's go, let's go. Another person going wide. What is up with these guys? Pretty sure that's Kaiser. Go on, Starchy, let's go. The legendary Dodge Dart driver. Who's going to use the handbrake? Is anyone going to use it? I don't know. Oh. Oh dear, let's go. Oh, we touched some of the grass. Tough stuff. He's trying to defend. Oh, let's go. Oh man, that is funny. Oh my lord. Oh, good battle start. Good battle. Well done to Joey as well with the first place. Solid stuff. Oh, that was good. That was good. Carver, how did it go in the Citroen? It looked like you were having some tough time there. I think some people were being a bit rough on you. That's what I remembered. We lost ourselves the 114, but it was definitely worth it for that ending, boys. Definitely worth it. Alright, I think this is definitely going to be our last race of the night, guys. Definitely last race. So whatever it is, we'll just have to take it. But at least we've seen some action in the Cougar and in the Mustang. Let's hope we don't have a ridiculous final track. Oh my god. I mean, it's point and shoot, isn't it? It's point and shoot, so... But I'll tell you what, just to end it in good spirit, guys, we're going to run the Carver special. We're going in the Mazda RX-7, over 1,000 horsepower. And you know what? Let's make things more interesting. Let's get that braking line off. Let's get that off for good. I'm just trying to set up a light right here for you guys because I realised that it's gone a bit dark. There we are. Let me know if it's a bit too bright, but anyway, guys, it's been so much fun having you guys in the chat. I hope we all have a really good laugh with this final race. Where are we gonna start? I think I'm gonna pull up. I think we should all pull up off the line and at least let maybe half the field go, because it is a point and shoot track after all. So yeah, it might be a bit too easy for us to just run away. Oh, you're topping out at 165. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because judging by them stats, Starchy, you should actually have a really sick car in that dart. I like to think it's really good. It's not really rain. Don't worry about the rain. It's not really rain. It says it's going to rain. I think it's just going to be a bit of silly fog that comes up. But here we go, final race of the day, guys. We're starting on the front row alongside Juicy Joe, but we're going to pull over after the start line. Look at that, some poor folks, they're having to start behind the tyre barriers. We're Starchy, Carver, that's more like it, boys. Got Jula as well, oh yeah. Let's work together as a pack, guys. Let's all work together, work up the order, and Bring the speed cars into play. I've never done this layout, so... Let's go, let's go, let's go. When do you brake? I don't know when to brake. Oh, Carver getting a little bit scrappy. Oh my god, what's up with that guy? Come on, Jula, let's go. Coming up to Water Boy. Oh, someone's flipped! Someone's flipped! It's Kaiser as well. I think that's might be a bit of karma, I don't know. Oh, yes, Jula, let's go. In the mighty Stang. We've got another Stang. Alright, 2 laps of 6 done and we're working up the order, boys. We're pulling it off. Oh, come on. I think we need a bit of that handbrake. Come round, come round. Oh, come on. Jeez, oh son, that top end. Oh, we're still braking a little bit earlier than we need to. Give him space on the inside. He has got the more handling after all. And he's got a bit more acceleration actually when it comes to out the corners. Let's go, let's go. Oh yeah. Bit of that handbrake. Oh, we bogged a lot there though. Sorry, Mr. DBS. Let's go, Jula. Oh yeah. Me and Jula rocking it just like the old days. Right, where's that cone? First cone. A little later. Yeah, it's a bit more like it, kind of. Power, 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 as fast as possible. There we go, the fog has finally gone, boys. Jesus has answered our prayers. Sorry, cover, sorry. A bit too much bog there. Oh, we're still doing the faster lap though, that's good. Oh, look at that. Didn't cut the white line. Love to see it. Into the 51s. Oh, so we did actually lose time there. Maybe I was a bit too cautious. Whoa, never mind that car. What is that? What's that car? On the final lap as well. Carver's got a Simpson. Oh my god. Let's go, Jula. Where are you? Let's have a little drag race. Can you go across this grass? No, you can't. Oh. Oh, you know what I was thinking, boys? We want it to get starchy. We want it to get in good there. Looks like we're going to fall all the way back to last place. Looks like we're not even going to finish at this rate. Oh my god. We're not even going to finish. I can't believe it. But let's avoid finishing last. Don't finish last. Oh my god, he took us out! Why did he do that? Why did he do that? Oh my god, you boys saw that. You saw that atrocity. He tried taking us out. Terrible stuff. Oh man, that was too funny. Oh, I can't believe it. Now we've got Hockenheim. An actually good track. An actual good track, but I think the time is up for me, guys. So if you want to stick in the lobby, then please do, and keep on running them power cars. Run in faith of poor old John Boy here. So, but look, I hope that the tuning and building guide earlier today actually helped you guys. So please do make sure to share the link of the stream out to other people, any friends that you have who like power cars or speed cars and have never quite tried some of these tricks that I shared. But either way, I hope you had a lot of fun. Do continue racing if you feel like doing it. And make sure that you are tuned in for tomorrow afternoon. So Rossi will actually be doing some Twitch streaming in the late afternoon. I think he'll be doing some more Forza GT endurance. Myself, I'll actually be focusing on something else. I'll actually be working on how to tune cars whilst using a steering wheel. So I've got a Thrustmaster, and you'll be able to watch me tune a car from scratch, and I'll actually show you the differences that you have to make cars a bit more drivable compared to using the controller pad and a steering wheel. But other than that, guys, I hope you've had a hell of a lot of fun, because I certainly have. I hope you all have a great day ahead, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.